Alright everyone, welcome back to another MotoGP22 video. As you can see by today's title, 10 things I hate about MotoGP22. To be honest, it could have been a lot more than 10, but for the sake of a video, I narrowed it down to 10 things. As you can see on screen, there is some sort of MotoGP22 gameplay. Future Dylan will have sorted something, hopefully for both of us, for the two Dylans, and hopefully it's not too bad to watch. Anyway, we're going to jump straight in, no order at all. I have 10 things I picked at random from about 90 seconds of thinking about what I hate about this game. Number 1, physics. I could probably make a whole episode about physics, how much I hate it. They've been on a downhill spiral for years. Ever since they moved to the Unreal Engine 4, they've been cack. And 22 for me has been the worst they've ever been. I hate the braking. There's not much I like about it. I like the rear grip, but I think the rear grip also makes the braking worse. It's just so bad. I have taken a bit of a break from the game recently just because I don't have any interest in playing it, as well as I play a shit ton of GP bikes most evenings because it's just enjoyable, it's fun, and you can have a lot more fun on it. There's more bikes, there's more tracks. Now everything is user made, so it's not as polished, but I'd still rather play a bad GP bikes mod at the moment than any MotoGP22 content, and that is saying a lot about the game because my channel is based on MotoGP22, and I don't want to be saying that about it. I'd love to be absolutely banging the drum about how good this game is, but the physics are woeful and are a huge part in why I don't play it. Up next on my list in front of me on my PC screen is another reason why I am struggling for motivation to make content on this video, on this game even, is the AI. The AI, again, just like the physics, have taken a massive downhill ski jump off the edge of a cliff in the last couple of games. They are atrocious. I genuinely can't race them. Now, I am a bit quicker than them. In my career mode videos, it might be a surprise to some. I don't slow down, but I try to battle with them. I try to make it clean. I don't want to just clear off. There's certain YouTubers, not going to name any names, certain YouTubers out there that just clear off, win by 6 seconds and think that's great content. And to you, sir, enjoy yourself, but that is not how I think good content is made. So I try and play with the AI. I like to have battles. Everyone likes to see a bit of good racing, and I am no different, and I do believe that that's probably why my content is so popular, my career mode especially. And yeah, AI on this game have made it very difficult for me to do that. I get T-boned, I get taken out, they just do stupid things a lot of the time, and I've been told to know, as of recording this, I have 3 races left in Moto 3. I have been told to get better in Moto 2 and MotoGP, but like, the foundation of the AI is there to start going to do stupid stuff. So hopefully my enjoyment in the game will improve when I get to Moto 2, because I'm not enjoying Moto 3 mainly because of the AI, even though I will be starting a Moto 3 league in 8 days of when recording this. It'll be a week from when you're watching it. I've yet to decide if I'm going to record it or just stream that league, but there will be more details in the future about that, in the very near future I suppose, because it's out next week. Next up is number 3, another huge aspect of the game that is really disappointing to me is career mode. At the start of the year they said, or the start of their development cycle, they're like, oh, it's all new career mode this year, and it's just not. It's a rebadged career mode once again, all new managerial career mode. It's not. It's exactly the same as it's been since donkeys years ago. Probably like MotoGP 17 was their first managerial. It hasn't really changed much since then. They brought in a couple of quantity of life hacks, which like you press a few buttons and assign SAF automatically. They changed the UI. It's not really all new, is it? Like, let's be realistic here. If I paint my car green, does that mean it's an all new car? No, it's just a new colour car. So think of it that way. I'm very disappointed with the game because it's gotten stale. I did, I want to say 7 seasons last year on GB21 of career mode, and I enjoyed it because the AI weren't too bad, and I enjoyed the physics more of that game, and it was before I actually ever played GB bikes, so I hadn't realised what I was missing out on. So I did absolutely sink a shit ton of hours into that, and I loved it. But this year's game, I'm not loving it. The career mode is the exact same, but like I said, let's hope Moto 2 cheers me up a bit more and I enjoy making content, because the channel is actually growing at a mad rate at the moment, and my career mode videos are doing really well. It's just a shame I'm not enjoying recording them. But we'll soldier on, and well, let's hope it takes a turn for the better. But for me, career mode has to be completely stripped down, back to the shell, and rebuilt from the ground up. It is not good enough. They can't just keep adding little elements here and there. They need a complete overhaul. Next up is something that I made 19 videos on in MotoGP on this. I've yet to make one on it because this system and this game mode is dead. It is of course online. I might try and get some online footage for this video if I can. It's pretty hard to get because nobody plays this game online. And I'm on PC, which is nearly every year the most popular. So it's a bit disappointing. But what can you do? There's just not that many people want to play this game because of the 3 reasons I just mentioned. The physics, the AI, the career mode. And now the online as well isn't that good. Again, online is just a simple hopper system. Very boring. There's no creativity to it. If you've played a online MotoGP game before, you've played this one, so it's no different. They didn't even have a race director mode. We'll get to that kind of stuff later. But for online, that's another thing they need to completely address that. But again, a lot of these things I will come back to later in the video on why I understand they haven't gotten them better over the last couple of games. But at the same time, this is 10 things I hate about MotoGP20, so I have to shit on them now. And I'll kind of side with them later. But next up, number 5 or half of there, inconsistent gameplay. Now, this has been something that came in kind of last year where there were certain corners where the bike would feel weird, the physics would kind of bug out, and it is even more present. It is incredibly apparent in MotoGP22 that there is some sort of physics system in place in certain parts of the track on certain bikes that won't give you control. For example, turn 5 at Portimao, it's a downhill left-hander. You can't go to full lean. There's a couple of corners on a couple of tracks that you just can't get to full lean. It's like, to me what I believe it is, it's like a bandage over some bad physics, and instead of patching it and fixing it really, they just kind of put a stop fix on it, kind of just like stop it from happening instead of fixing whatever it was being caused. That's my opinion. I don't know much about game development. I am just a pleb that plays them, so I'm probably not even in the ballpark. But one of the biggest reasons I don't like MotoGP22 is the inconsistencies. Not only the weird turning glitch that when you can't get a full lean that they, I believe, have put something in to stop you. Sometimes you just come into a corner and you're done nothing different to lap 4 and the front just washes out. Then you come in the next lap and you're absolutely on the limit, back shifting, full front brake, and the front just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and doesn't crash. But the lap 4 you literally touched it and went. There is a lack of consistency in the gameplay, and it is incredibly frustrating because, fair enough, a hard game is something that everyone wants. Well, personally, me as more of a sim orientated player, I'd much rather a hard game, but I'd like something that you can build confidence on, and that is the worst thing in the world when you don't have confidence, and inconsistencies just create so much doubt on, is this going to stick? Am I going to make the corner? Am I going to be able to hit an apex? So yeah. Number 6 is a big one that's been in these games for years. Stupid updates. I don't know how long the game is out now. I'll probably put something on screen now saying when it came out. And from whenever that came out till now, today's date is the 5th of whatever month we're in. I don't know. It's Saturday. I'm very tired. I just had pizza. So I'm a bit all over the place. But they put out a load of updates and they keep changing the physics. Even though then in their patch notes they don't mention it. I've been in contact with their what's it called? What would you call them? Their social media manager, and they say that none of the devs even, have said anything about updates to the physics. So it's pretty clear. I know many people that have said the physics have changed, including myself. And most of them like, yeah, we didn't do nothing. So God knows what has even happened. Have they just I'm not going to speculate on it because I genuinely don't have a clue how that could happen. How they could put out an update and it changed physics even though it wasn't meant to. Just mind-boggling to me, but it keeps happening. It's happened for, I would probably go back and say MotoGP 15. Every ride game it's happened in. It's happened in every milestone game. They put out updates and they change the physics. Now sometimes they do tell you you're doing it. That's even worse. Why change the physics? Put the game out, keep the physics the way they are. Fair enough if there's some glitches in the physics, fix them, but don't overhaul the gameplay. The biggest gameplay aspect is the physics. Don't overhaul that mid-cycle or a month into gameplay. It's a bit weird. It confuses me. It always gives real vagueness. Ride 4, MotoGP 20 were 2 games that were brilliant on release that they patched and shagged, and nobody likes them anymore. Well, I hate Ride 4 now, and I absolutely loved it when it first came out. It just had such a great feeling to it. MotoGP 20, I remember I uninstalled it after I finished the league because I knew I wouldn't play it, and then I reinstalled it before MotoGP 21 came out. and it was just cack. I just could not play it. I hated it so much. Just ruined it for me. Number 7 on my wonderful list is a lack of realism. Now, throughout the Milestone game, there's just so many things that are just not real to real life. Just to name a few, the dash, a lot of the tracks or the dashboards to start off with, they've been wrong for ever since they got the licenses. Just a lot of the setups, you can get at a lot of the setup aspects that real life mechanics will do. I could go on for hours with naming how unrealistic and lack of realism there is in this game, but overall it's something they must improve on. But again, as I said, my last point will be why maybe some of these things on this list are on these lists because of a reason, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I'm someone who really enjoys realism. Thankfully I'm on PC now. For years I was on Xbox, but now I have the modding community to help me fix things and make the game a little bit better and more enjoyable to play. Number 8 on the list is a smaller thing, but it really pissed me off. It's the scaling of the riders. The rider helmets are wrong, the rider body is wrong. I remember I complained about this in the preview and in my What I Wanted MotoGP22 video, and it's been wrong for years. If you take a screenshot, a lot of the time if the rider is in the screenshot like in a corner, it just looks wrong. And it's a shame because the actual camera mode, or whatever you want to call it, photo mode is what they call it, it's quite good. But the rider positioning and the physics model itself is just a bit weird and quirky, so it ruins a good opportunity to take some nice pictures. Number 9 on the list is lack of progress, and my last 2 points kind of are 1 point, but I decided to split them up because it would be a really big point otherwise. So lack of progress is number 9. From when they've moved to the Unreal Engine 4 for MotoGP 18, the game hasn't changed much. Graphically, it's been tweaked, nothing major. Career mode, relatively the same. Online, relatively the same. They brought historic riders, they've taken away some, but again, they're relatively the same. Career mode hasn't changed. They brought a few new tracks because they've had to, just because of real life MotoGP. Of course, this year we got the 2009 season, that was our first big one. But even that, it's not something you can do online. It's not something. You're not going to be playing that after 6 months. You're not going to keep playing that. You play it once, you've seen it all, and that's it. Now, as much as I've praised it in the past, it's still one thing. They need a lot more in these games. The replayability is just not there for me. And finally, my last thing on the list, the one I've been building towards, the biggest issue with MotoGP22 for me is Dorna. Now, before you click off the video, yes, you did hear me right, Dorna, the people that own, run and organise MotoGP in real life. A lot of questions were put towards Milestone in their own Discord server, and for me, reading between the lines, a lot of the issues with their game aren't down to themselves. It's down to Dorna having deadlines for them to put the game out. They were asked many times. I would never give a straight answer why the game comes out when it does. A lot of people asked, for example, why the race director was taken out of a game that already had it in the previous game, and they said it was because they couldn't get it done in time for launch. So it all kind of adds up to that. Dorna want to have the game out kind of early in the season. They don't give them the time to get the game finished, which also could make it have inconsistent gameplay, physics that aren't correct, career mode that's underdeveloped, lack of realism, scaling of the riders. Everything I've said in this video could be put down to this, and that Dorna have rushed them to put the game out every year, and we don't see any steps. And where a lot of people shit on Milestone, tell them they don't know what they're doing, and it could be just Dorna is like, right, you have 9 months to make a brand new game and get it on shelves, and we're like, right, we can adjust the lighting and we can probably get the MotoGP bikes kind in the game on a month late, and that's pretty much what it is. Also as well, Milestone have a lot of other games to be dealing with, so it's not just like it's their only game, they have so much to deal with. So I do feel for them because they get a lot of slack, they don't get a lot of praise. And this is coming from the guy who just says he hates 10 things about the game and could hate a lot more. But I do kind of understand. I believe it has a lot to do with Dorna's licensing. A lot of things. I think a lot of the things as well, right, from my, again, reading between the lines as I like to do, a lot of things that the community would ask for, I don't think Dorna will allow them to have. And that they're, like, for example, years and years ago, people always wanted driver transfers in the Formula 1 games, and it took them a long time to get the... I think it was when Liberty Media took it over, to be honest. I might be wrong with that, but I think when Bernie had his hands around that sport, the F1 game was so limited on what they could do, and I think MotoGP is in very similar boat at the moment. So hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe in the future we'll see a brilliant MotoGP game, but for now I'm going to keep playing it just to record videos for you guys, because I have zero interest in playing it in my own time. I am a busy boy, and the little bit of time I like having to myself, I usually play either pretty much GP bikes all the time, and other few kind of indie games and bits and bobs here and there. But if I want some good bike racing, good realism, I play GP bikes, and that's a game that's 10 years old, 13 years old, I think. Whatever it is, it's quite old. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Drop a comment down below, tell me things you don't like about this game. Tell me things you do like about this game. I was going to make 10 things I like about this game, but I couldn't think of 10 things I liked about it. And that is why we're starting off with 10 things I hate about the game, because it's a lot easier to hate the things because they stand out a lot more than the things I like. There's very few things I like about this game, but I might try and squeeze a video out if I could about the things I like about it. But even thinking on the spot, there's not many things I could probably say that I actually like about the game. There's a lot of things I'll put up with. But anyway, I've rambled on for over 15 minutes. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and I shall catch you all in the next video. Take care.